Hi, I'm Sam here at Rick Jones Pianos with a Yamaha Studio upright built in Indonesia in 2006. The model number of this piano is M30. That may not tell you very much, but I just tuned this piano, I opened it up, and I observed, stamped on the last key, actually kind of laser etched into the wood, more modern. What was etched into the key, other than all the numbers of each key, is the designation P22. So that tells me that this piano on the inside is identical to a Yamaha P22 Studio upright, which is about 46 inches tall, 46 and a half maybe. This piano is the same size and tuned up just the same as the P22, but it has a different cabinet in the outside. The P22, perhaps famously, is known for its rugged institutional style case with very blocky wooden parts. It's meant to take a beating in the school. This one is basically a repackaged version of that. It's all Yamaha's same design on the inside, but they put a decorator style case on the outside. I believe this is a mahogany. Yes, this is a mahogany satin case with curved legs. It comes with a matching curved leg bench that opens up to store music. And it has the similar ornamental style music desk that you would find on the console piano. It looks like a console in every way other than the fact that it's bigger and therefore has longer strings, especially in the bass, and has a larger soundboard, so you get the fuller, more big sound of a studio upright compared to just a little console piano. And in my opinion, Yamaha did that because they noticed how many studio uprights they were selling. It's a very popular model, but they probably received some feedback from customers or maybe the dealers asking for a prettier version of the same P22 piano. They liked the way it sounded, but it didn't like the way it looked. So, in my opinion, that's why this piano exists, the M30. So if you have a home full of wood furniture, more decorator style, more traditional style, and you find the institutional look of the P22 disagreeable, I think you'll find this to be much more agreeable. And as I said, I just tuned up well. It has I like the sound very much. It's very clear without being bright. If you play softly, you can get a mellow sound, a warmer sound out of it. If you play, you can get a much bigger sound if you want. If you play loudly, it's flexible in that regard. It has a wide dynamic range, and generally, the larger the piano, the more dynamic range it has, the more capable it is. So, I'll call this a 5 on a scale from 1 to 10 for the tone. From mellow to bright, it's in between. The touch I also thought was not especially hard, not especially easy. It feels fast when I needed it to feel fast. Playing rapid passages, notes of the music, but I was able to play very carefully and get a very soft sound out of it and get the proper resistance out of the keys that would assist me in playing softly. So neither too heavy, not too light either. I call it a 5 on the scale from 1 to 10, from light to firm. And I especially recommend, amongst all the pianos in their inventory, I like to recommend a piano with neutral tone and touch characteristics, so 5 and 5, like this piano. I like to recommend it for newcomers to the piano, especially if you're a family and you have children and you want them to begin playing piano lessons and you're really not sure what sort of piano you want. In my opinion, if you start out with a piano that's very neutral, both in tone and touch, how hard the keys are, I think you'll have an easier time adapting to pianos later on that might have different characteristics, especially in schools. Schools will They'll get what they can get, whatever they are. Might have a bright sound, might have a mellow sound, hard touch, easy touch, everything in between. This piano is pretty much the average of all of that. So in my opinion, I think you as a student, a young student especially, will have an easier time getting used to different pianos later on if you practice on this at home. And one important advantage this has over the P22 Studio is its actual practice mute. The middle pedal acts like it does on a Yamaha U1 or U3, the larger Yamaha uprights that we have many of. P22s would not be included with a practice mute because that would be useless inside of a school. There's no one trying to sleep at night in the school, hopefully. And so there's no reason to have a practice mute in the P22, but since this was meant to be more of a home piano, they made it with a practice mute, just like a U1. So you press it down, move it over to the left, and it will put a strip of felt in between the hammers and the strings, so the hammers don't strike the strings directly. And it makes a substantial reduction in the sound, so especially useful if you live in an apartment or row home and you don't want to disturb your neighbors. So, oh, and I think one more thing. Yes, this is a slow close fall board, which is, I'll remark, in my experience as a technician, I guess 16 years now, this style of fall board doesn't usually come with a slow close mechanism. That's usually on the other types, like on a Yamaha U1, where the fall board has a different structure. This is, it's a slow close mechanism, which I really don't find very often, which is another great thing for families at home with children who may be rambunctious, so you don't want them accidentally slamming closed a key cover and hurting someone's fingers. This will not slam closed because there are built-in from the factory slow close mechanisms on the inside. So another nice little feature. A lot to recommend for this piano, especially if you're a family with children who are just starting out. So please stop by, try it out for yourself. You can play it along with anything else in our inventory. And if you can't make it, you can always give us a phone call or send us an email if you have any questions. Thanks.